Was good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger, man. So, as you can see by the looks of the title and the screen today, man, I got another very special rare build in store for y'all coming out of the center position. Going to be called the Facilitating 3 level scorer, over 100 badges, and it's really going to remind me of a Kevin Durant build. Now, before we get any further, man, I just gotta say thank you, God, for giving me this opportunity, giving us this time that we are sharing together. But man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody looking to join the Rich Gang family, go ahead and turn on post notifications, but be sure to go ahead and hit that like button, y'all. I would appreciate it if we can get at least 50 likes on this video. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And now, let's go ahead and get into the making of this build. So, if you were paying attention, the very first thing that we're going to go ahead and do is put this build under the center position. Now, you can change this based off your preference, but for me, I'm going to leave it at the center. Now, when it comes to the height, weight, and wingspan, I'm going to go with 7 feet exactly, so leave it as is. When it comes down to the weight, I'm not going to go with the lowest or the highest. I'm going to go with 226, and then when it comes down to the wingspan, I'm going to go with 7 feet exactly. Body shape, for me, is going to be builds. Now, you can change this based all of your own preference, but for me, I'm telling you, this is the best way to go about it in my opinion. Now, when it comes down to these stats, just please be sure to follow along exactly as I am showing y'all. But first, let's go ahead and get started with the finishing side of things. So, the close shot is actually going to go all the way up to a 92. Driving layup, going to go all the way up to an 80, so maxed out, and we're going to be able to get all of the layup packages that we want. Then when it comes down to the standing dunk, or when it comes down to the driving dunk, these are going to be two key factors of the build. So when it comes down to the driving dunk, just be sure to max it out at a 70. Standing dunk must be a 90 in order to get all of the big man contact dunks. And then when it comes down to the post control, this must be an 85 in order to maintain 29 finishing badges. Really solid setup all around when it comes down to the finishing. Now let's go ahead and get into the shooting. So, mid-range shot, gonna go all the way maxed out at a 90. When it comes down to the three-pointer, for me, I would have to say 83 is going to be perfect. When it comes down to the free throw now, this is all based on your own preference. I'm going to go with the 71 just to take this build into any game mode. And as you can see right there, we actually get another 29 badges. So far, so good, looking really nice. Now let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. Pass accuracy is going to go up to an 86. When it comes down to the ball handle, this is going to be maxed out at a 69. And then for the speed with the ball, we want to go ahead and max this out as well. And right there, as you can see, we're going to be able to get 19 playmaking badges. Now, when it comes down to the defensive end, please just be sure to follow along exactly as I'll show y'all right here, because this is one of the most crucial parts about this build. So when it comes down to the perimeter defense, I'm going to go with the 60. Then when it comes down to the steal, I'm going to go with the 40 right here. You can actually go higher if you want to, but I want to leave it as is for certain reasons when it comes down to the badges and animations. Now, when it comes down to the block, I'm going to go with an 84. Offensive rebound 81 and defensive rebound the same exact thing. Now, right there, we're going to be able to get 20 badges, and also consider you're going to be able to get a +1 badge from each season. So far we're in season 3, so that's +3 badges. Then also +4 from the rebirth, +7 in total, and then add it up to this build with the badges that it comes with, and you're going to be able to get over 100 badges easily. But as you can see, when it comes down to the takeovers, we actually get some really solid options as well. For my opinion, I would have to say, if you were going to change anything about this build, I can see what it would be. Probably to get more playmaking badges or more defensive. But when it comes down to the finishing and the shooting, this is going to be perfect. Now we still got a couple more overalls to use when it comes down to the physicals. So actually, this really comes down to what you want to go about when it comes to here. But honestly, I have to say, you have to go ahead and use the rest of the attributes for your physicals. If you don't, you're going to really be missing out on what this build is capable of. So that is why I leave it as is when it comes down to the stats right here, but also the badge setup. Now, when it comes down to the physicals, we're pretty much going to max out every single thing when it comes down to this. But also, when it comes down to the badges that we did unlock, you pretty much get everything that you're going to need as well. So, let's go ahead and get into the physicals right here. Our speed, going to go up to a 70. When it comes down to the acceleration, I'm going to go with a 67. Strength, this is all based on your own preference, but I'm going to go with the 77. Vertical, going to go all the way up to a 75 in order to maintain the standing contact dunks. And then what's going to be perfect for my opinion in the stamina is going to be 90. And as you can see, this build matches up pretty well against any other center that you're going to be playing against. Also, on top of all that, remember, you're going to be able to get a +4 to all of these once you buy boost, and also considering the fact that you're going to be able to get a +10 to whichever takeover badge that you do decide to pick. And we get 2 options to pick from as well. So let's go ahead and get started. As you can see, we get the sharpshooting, playmaking, glass cleaning, and then we also get the post scoring takeover. All some really good options to pick from. Remember, the post scoring +10 to the finishing. When it comes down to the glass cleaning, +10 to the defensive, +10 to the playmaking for the playmaking takeover. And then when it comes down to the very last one, the shooting, +10 to the shooting for the sharpshooting. So really, this is something that we all need to take into consideration. I want to be able to speed boost with this build and really play like Kevin Durant. So the first one I'm going to hit y'all with is going to be a playmaking takeover, team takeover boost. The second one that I really like, honestly, it would have to be between limitless range, see the future takeover. Both of these are some really good options that you can pick from. Again, it just comes down more so to your playstyle. But if you want to help up more on the defensive end, I would highly consider see the future takeover. That's the one that I'm actually going to go ahead and pick. And as y'all can see, we have made the first ever facilitating 3-level score. And look at the comparisons, y'all. We got Jokic, Joel Embiid, and Cat for the shades. Now, let's just go ahead and take a quick look at what this build is going to be looking like. Once you max it out, add boost to it and everything else that's going to be considered. Now, what I mean by that is, remember, you're going to be getting the +4 from the boost that you buy, also another +10 from the takeover, and then another +4 from running with teammates that are going to be having floor general on Hall of Fame as well as defensive leader. So for my preference, I would have to say this really comes down to which takeovers you did pick, but we did pick the glass cleaning and the playmaking. So essentially in takeover, you're going to be able to speed boost. Your ball handle is going to be right around the 80s. Speed with the ball has the potential to actually to be able to go up to the high 60s. Being 7 feet, that is really solid, y'all. Then when it comes down to the defensive end, this is where things get even better. So essentially, you will have a 99 offensive rebound, defensive rebound, block. Perimeter defense will be up in the high 70s. And then when it comes down to the finishing, if you decided to go with the post scoring takeover, you're going to have a 99 close shot, pretty much a 99 driving layup. Driving dunk will be in the high 80s. You're going to be able to get a 99 standing dunk and a 99 post control. But if you decided to go with the shooting, you're going to get a 99 mid-range and a 99 three-pointer. And remember, this is all in takeover with it activated. So that is just something that I would really consider when it comes down to this build. I went with the playmaking and the glass cleaning takeover just to be a little bit more versatile when it came down to the dribbling side of things. But honestly, if you decide to switch any of these takeovers up, I promise you everything is going to work out as long as you did it as I did. But now, let's just go ahead and get into this badge count. When it comes down to the finishing for me, I'm going to go with the most important badges when it comes down. So, I'm going to go with Back Down Punisher and Hall of Fame. Also, you got to go ahead and put on Posterizer on gold. Then, I'm going to go with Bronze Limitless Takeoff. Also, there's other badges that I would consider, so that's going to be Unstrippable, also on Hall of Fame. And then for the very last 11, if you want to, you can go with Mouse in the House on Hall of Fame as well as Fast Twitch. Now let's go ahead and get into the shooting. I'm going to go with Gold, Blinders, Hall of Fame Fade Ace, Silver Deadeye. We also got Hall of Fame Sniper, Gold Hot Zone Hunter, and then for the very last 6, here is where I would spread the wealth. So I'm going to go with Clutch Shooter, Volume Shooter, also going to add in Catch and Shoot, Green Machine. Then I'm going to go with Silver Corner Specialist. Now let's go ahead and get into the playmaking. We're pretty much going to be able to add every single badge that we need when it comes down to the dribbling side of things. So first, go ahead and put on Handles for Days, Triple Threat Juke, Unpluckable, as well as Tight Handles. Then from there, I'm also going to go ahead and add in bronze, bullet passer. If you want to, you can definitely go ahead and put on any other badge of your choosing. I'm going to go with post playmaker, gold, or you could even go with bronze glue hands. Both of these would be some really good options to pick from. But if you want to, even go ahead and put on bronze downhill, silver, diamond, and then for the very last one, like I said, this really just comes down to your preference and how you see things. But for me, I would have to say anything as long as you feel comfortable with is going to be okay. But now let's go ahead and get into the defensive end. Right here, I'm going to go with bronze interceptor, also gold chase down artist as well as intimidator. Then from there, I'm going with silver rebound chaser, silver rim protector, and then for the very last 5 or 6, you can change anything up of this setup if you want to, just to get Hall of Fame hustler. So what I would do is actually take down either chase down artist or intimidator 1 tier, or even take off interceptor, just so we can be able to put on Hall of Fame hustler. In my preference, I would say I would drop down intimidator 1 tier, just so that way we're still able to maintain a silver rebound chaser and gold chase down artist. And then from here, this is the setup that I would be running with. We're going to end up, when it comes down to the finishing side of things, we're going to go with 29 badges. Shooting is also going to be 29. Then when it comes down to the playmaking, we got 19 and 20 defensive badges. Again, I just gotta say thank God for giving me this opportunity. Thank y'all for being here, showing y'all support. Again, man, it's a miracle that we're able to spend and share this time together. I hope y'all are having a great Sunday. If you enjoyed the video, man, just go ahead and drop a quick like. I would appreciate that. But man, y'all already know what y'all need to do. Be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Anybody who wants to join the Rich Gang family, go ahead and turn on post notifications, but be sure to go ahead and hit that like button. I know I say this every time, but I would highly appreciate it if we can reach at least 50 likes on this banger. Be sure to share it with your family and friends. And last but not least, with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Thank God and Rich out.